Welcome to my third devlog. In the past few weeks, I've been working on improving the AI system and introducing a new lever system to the game. I've also been working on the first map, which is a forest map. So to start off, I want to talk about the gameplay of my game. So I want the gameplay to be both competitive and cooperative, where hiders can choose whether they want to work together to escape, hide, or they can work against one another to be the lone survivor. Players will also be given scores based on what actions they complete, encouraging them to act rather than just hiding the whole game. Although successful hiders will also gain bonus points too. So the overall winner will be the person with the most points from doing more actions, catching players, interacting with the environment, etc. Hiders will join the Seeker team if they are caught, which can create some intense dynamics within the game, as certain players may know the whereabouts of other players, so they could call them out on the voice chat and say, oh, that player's over in this area, etc. So to start off, I'd like to talk about the AI character. So before, he was just moving on the X and Y axis, just no sort of real movement in there. It was just he'd switch after 3 seconds to a different direction, and then he'd start moving that way. And then when he was in the proximity of a player using colliders, he would come towards a player. But that didn't really imitate a real person the way I wanted it to in this AI player. So I want players to have these intense moments where they actually need to hide or need to be quiet, or they might need to run away from the area they're just at, or whatever. So to improve the AI, I adjusted the script. So basically, the AI will now move around using the navigation system built into Unity. So on the plane that the players are moving on, that has a nav mesh surface, and then the AI player can move anywhere on that surface. And then so they will wander around for a duration, and then I've added so they can actually hear noises with another script that I'll show in a second. So if they hear a loud sound, they'll come towards it, similar to how a real player would act if they were playing this game and they were the Seeker. I've also added the microphone input system onto the main player, so you can actually talk in the game now, and the AI will hear you if you're too loud. So you can actually adjust the loudness that the AI is able to hear as well. This sort of adds a bit of intenseness to the game, because players will want to be able to communicate with each other, but at the same time they're going to have to be a bit more quiet. I'll show it in the gameplay in a second. But yeah, when the AI hears a player, if they're too loud, he will come towards that player. To make it more human-like as well, I did add a system so that the AI won't just stay on target to a player if he hears them once. So the AI will initially come towards a player if he hears him, but then if the player is quiet again and doesn't speak or anything for a while, the AI character will then just start wandering around again. So with the sound system that the AI comes towards, so I'll show that script here. It's a sound emitter script. basically it will use this function when the audio source is played, and then you link that to the AI players so that the AI player will go towards that sound when it's played. So that's basically all the improvements I've made to the AI player. So next I want to talk about the lever system that I've introduced. So I've added 2 levers into the game right here so far. But basically the player is able to pull onto the handle using the grabby buttons on the VR controllers, and when they bring it down to 180 degrees, it will start activating this filler here, which will increase in size, and then it will stop after 10 seconds of having the lever pulled down to the bottom there. So to do this, I added the XR grab interactable component. I also added a hinge joint so that you can actually pull it down like a normal lever rather than it just pulling off a wall. To link all the levers together and to track the progress of each lever, I've added into the Game Manager lever manager script. So you add your levers into this, and then it will track the progress of each one. Once all of them are complete, it will do this action object. At the moment, I haven't got anything that it actually does, but it will set for in the console all levers complete. So that's about it for the levers. I just wanted to implement that system because I thought there wasn't too much for the hiders to actually do at the moment. So obviously they can hide the whole game, but that doesn't really add much complexity to the game. So giving them something to accomplish will mean that they will actually move around, and then eventually be able to beat the seekers. Yeah. Moving on to the actual level design. Now that I have the trees and the walls finished within the echolocation system, I've been able to place multiple trees around, and they will light up in the game, as I'll show in a minute. I've also added some more environmental interactions, such as the birds. So when the player collides with the bird collider, the bird will make a noise and fly off. There is also it's called glass, but it's actually has now got a stick sound. So when you walk over that, it will make a stick crunching sound. This is quite easy to change as well. So you literally just change the sound rather than anything else. The script works the same. So it basically means that if I wanted to do a different map with, say, stepping on glass sound instead of stepping on a stick sound, I literally just have to change the sound related to it. And that's that. To do the actual level design, I use the terrain tool and place multiple trees around. Also, I forgot to say about the procedural wall, but basically this means that I don't have to have as many objects in the hierarchy, which saves a lot of resources. It literally just produces one whole game object, which is perfect for saving resources. Unfortunately, it doesn't work with the lighting for how the echolocation system works, because it needs to interact with the colliders and it needs a mesh. So it would light up this block, but it won't light up the walls when the game starts. So I'll show you some gameplay here, and then I'll talk about the future changes I'm going to be making. So yeah, if you just press the trigger, it will activate the echolocation system. Obviously, you can see it there. So to show you the police system I have, so you can pull that down. Oh, and the player actually caught me. So yeah, so to show off the microphone, I was obviously talking too loud. So as you can see, it's slightly buggy, but you can sort of pull it down and it will stretch out the block there. The AI player will also come over to the sound. You can hear me right now. But as you can see, when I was quiet, he gave up. He didn't realise that I was actually still here. And now he's coming back over towards me because he can hear me. So in the coming weeks, I'll be working more on the level design. So I want to work on a second level. I also would like to make some improvements to the first level here. So for my second level, I want to make a more industrial sort of designed level. So you have more hiding spots, more areas, and more sort of rooms for sounds to echo in. So that's all I have for this devlog at the moment. I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.